Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. Uh-huh. 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 Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
Growth, longevity, understanding, and integrity. Me and you, we on the road. Progress, self-discovery. Got a lot to learn in this life, and I'm excited. Gonna do it in my people like mine. How you gonna do when you need it? How you gonna do? A reboot.
Hello, good people. Hi, Stacy546. Hi, STL, and hi, Sheila Miles. I'm just going through the chat. Hi, Lena. How are you?
Yes.
Hey, Shelly, how's everything going with you guys?
Man, I'm doing all right. I'm excited for this combo. I think we are gonna get some deep diving done today. So I'm ready to get into it.
Welcome to the reBOOT podcast. I want to thank y'all for coming in, talking with us. It's Friday, TGIF. I always say that. I'm excited about the weekend. What do y'all have plans? Do y'all have any plans for this weekend coming?
I'm not sure yet, but I'm hoping to get out of the house. By myself, and enjoy some mom time. Maybe like a pedicure and a movie.
Ooh,
What I'm searching
that
for.
would be nice. That would be really nice. Are the movies open?
Yeah, the movies are open here.
Oh wow, okay. So do you go to like the one where you can sit and eat like a meal, or do you just go to the regular one where you get a little
I've never
popcorn?
been to one. They have that here, but I've never been to one.
Really?
I've never
Why
been to one.
not?
I don't know. Okay, so are you talking about where they like bring the food to you in the theater? Or are you talking about like where it's like a bar, you can like sit and watch the movie and like eat and drink and talk?
Where you sit in the movie theater and you order your food, they bring the food to you, they bring the drink.
Now I have done that. That's all there is here now. They don't even have regular theaters here anymore.
What? Really?
Yeah, everything's like the recliners, assigned seats, food, drinks, the whole nine. But then on top of that, the tickets are like $22.
Hell yeah. It's the
Yeah.
tickets is they're way expensive. AMC has a app now. I didn't even know that.
Oh,
So
really? I didn't know
yeah,
that.
because I guess a lot of people have kind of retracted from going to the movie, so you can actually have the app and I
Mm.
guess get the new movies that come out.
Oh, that's nice. I didn't know AMC had an app. That's good to know.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. This weekend, let me see what I got planned. Hair. That's what I'm doing Saturday. It's
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna be a full day. Hopefully, I have some type of plans come Sunday. Come on, universe, send me some plans,
Something.
something to do, somebody to call me,
I feel
and
you.
I know who I want to call, but I ain't gonna say it. I just call me and say, let's do something. I'll be
Let's
like,
get
I've
going.
I've blocked off my time just for this.
Mm.
You gonna
Mm.
call Ghostbusters?
Listen, we
Right.
know who the
Who you
conversation
gonna
with.
call?
I'm not gonna call nobody. I'm going to visualize somebody calling me,
Come through.
Mm.
and hopefully that actually comes
Lena,
to
you can
fruition.
call.
No,
You can
no,
call.
I
It's
can't
okay.
call because you know what? When you in a relationship, when you're dating or whatever, I'm not in a relationship, but I'm dating right now. So
Hmm.
if whoever there's a power thing
There
or
is.
there's some type of uh, give and take. If you're the one that's calling, you're the one that's giving the most.
No, stop. We
Yeah,
cannot
that's
paint
what
that
it is.
narrative.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna sit here and tell me that that's not the truth?
No. I mean, okay, so to an extent, in that moment, obviously you're the one that's giving the most because you're the one that's reaching out and making the plans. But that's what relationships are all about. Like give and take and switch it back around. Like you're
Mm-hmm.
going to be the one giving sometimes.
Well, all I'm saying is I'm a very giver. I'm a very giver type of person. Can't even get it out. I'm a giver,
You,
so I
you
need
sure?
somebody. Listen, I'm positive. I need somebody who's gonna give, and then once I know that you also are willing to give, then you can get the
Then you can get. Now
floodgates.
you can receive. Okay, I feel you.
She said
Yeah,
floodgates.
but you're gonna have to show me first. Well, you should show me. Sometimes I get a little like confused, but that's how it is. So that's what I'm hoping for my weekend. I
Yeah,
wouldn't
I'm
mind going
very.
to play some billiards,
Oh,
some
now you
pool.
sending messages now.
Yeah,
You
yeah, I
doing
wouldn't mind.
you doing everything but here's the idea, you just circling around it.
I could go to breakfast. I could do some billiards. I could go to. They have this museum down here called the Dallas Museum of Illusion, and they have all these different places where you can take a picture, and it just changed the illusion. Like, you could sit on this chair, and it could be somebody who's really big or tall, and you sit on the chair, you look micro.
Like tiny, tiny. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool.
So
I
I've been
love
wanting to go to
museums.
that. And so that's what I'm hoping for. I'm visualizing. I'm speaking that thing into existence. I'm waiting for it to come on back to me because I have the belief and I know that it can happen.
Come on.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. I'm believing for you. How are you, STL? I got to peek into Good Grief today, and it is always a joy. You ladies are conducting a magnificent platform over there.
Those ladies
Yes.
bring it. I just have to say,
Mhm.
Crazy Berry Town, along with Kim Possible 7-Eleven, that platform of Good Grief is just magnificent.
It
And
really
it's
is.
amazing to me because I mean, even in my journey through grief right now, I need it just as much as everybody else needs it.
Mhm.
Man, liminal space, that's my word that I went away with today. Kim Possible laid that on us, and it was just awesome. So it's kind of like that transitional place where you know you're going someplace, but you're not there yet. That's your liminal space. Man,
Mhm.
I was like, it was just a really, really good point to address as we're in the journey of grief and how that all impacts. So I'm feeling good. I'm pumped up. I'm excited. This is the weekend. Today would have been a year ago. My mom was transitioning, and then on the
Mm.
30th, she actually passed away, but she was here at my home. And so the beauty of that was that she was able to, number one, I had her here at the home with me, but she was also able to see my siblings and talk to everybody, see her sister, and so on and so forth. So it's been kind of an emotional week, but I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very emotional time. This
Mhm.
last week was also the time that my great grandma transitioned 2 years ago. So
Yes.
I absolutely understand.
Yes, yes, yes. But
Wow.
it's a journey and it's a good journey. And then, of course, like you said, with the platform and the ladies there and the beautiful people. I mean, we have some of the most beautiful people that come in the Lions Den. I gotta say that. It's been a good supported journey. So I definitely do not feel like I'm out here on this journey by myself. I'm very
Hmm.
supported and I feel good about that. And we're trying to normalize grief. Sometimes people don't know what to do with grief and how to package that. So in the
Yeah.
attempt to normalize that so we no longer have to feel and go through all these crazy places that we've gone in the past in the grieving process, trying to break that thing down and just make it so that we can do it more in a healthy way. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
yeah,
don't know what to do with it. And it kind of, listening to you guys, it puts pieces together for me, because at first I was like, I think I'm numb to it. Like, I don't think that my body can react to it.
hmm,
Um, but what pisses me off so much about it is that it hits me when I don't fucking want it to be hitting me.
right,
Like, I'll, I'll
Hmm.
be washing clothes and I'll think of the way that my grandma and I used to wash clothes and hang them out on the line together, and it will literally flood me with tears. And I'm just like, I could have handled this a year ago. Why was I just sitting there numb, not crying, not really knowing what to say? And now I'm washing clothes and crying like a polar bear who just lost all its ice chips. Like, this is ridiculous.
yeah, because you were in shock, you know,
There
the
you go.
stages, the shock, and shock can last. And even as one of the things that Kim Possible said, instead of thinking about the stages of grief in some kind of linear or some kind of circular format, she said it's more like, you know, when you hit the gopher, that game when you go and it's just like the gopher pops up here and then the gopher pops up there and you're trying to bop them in the head. It's more like that. That's the journey of grief. It's like bopping the gophers in the head because it might
Yeah.
pop up anywhere at any time and there's absolutely positively no pattern to it whatsoever.
Hmm.
So that really blessed me today too.
Diesel says, since some say that grief is unexpressed love, that we have to find a vehicle to channel that love in a positive way.
That's good.
So
Oh, I
I
love
love that.
that.
I
That's
like that too. Yeah.
I absolutely love that.
I mean, I have moments like that all the time. And I think that in the beginning, I used to try to fight that. But
Hmm.
now at this point, I just let it flow. You know, if I get
yes.
a inkling of something, I feel like I need to cry, I'm not even gonna fight it. I'm just gonna cry. It might be at a restaurant. I might be on the floor at the club dancing, twerking, and I bust out crying.
And it
And
hits you.
it's just,
So
you
maybe
know,
that's my naivete, is that I think that I'm supposed to have control over it, but that's just not possible.
mhm. Well, I mean, I think now today's time, now everything and everything kind of happens quicker. The way that we our timelines are quicker now, so we just
Mhm.
automatically think, okay, somebody passed, let me go ahead and deal with it. It'll go through, but it's not necessarily the case.
Yeah.
So it's just, I think, it's just coming to the realization that this is not something that is of my control, and so I will just let it come as it goes
Yeah.
Hmm.
and go through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Simple as
Okay.
that. Usually, when I bust out crying, I take the time to speak to the people, whoever. If it's my grandmother, if it's my mama, if it's whoever, I just take the time to say words and speak to them, and it helps me a little bit, you know.
It does.
Hmm.
It does. If
Hmm.
you go into the Discord channel, as there's a good grief channel, but there's also what we call a win phone. And the win phone is literally where you can type the message to your loved ones. Typically on the win phone,
Mm,
you talk on the phone and it's not connected to anything, but it's just that conversation. But since we don't have the telephone application to provide, we have the channel where people just type in, and it's some powerful stuff in there where they just come in and like you said, Lena, when they come to your mind and when you have that outburst or not, you feel like you just need to talk, then we go into the wind phone and we just chat it in there. And it's you would be surprised how powerful it actually is. It is powerful.
Hmm.
hmm. Yes,
I might
yes.
try that. I
Diesel
might
said,
try that.
I love these young ladies. I try to tune in when I have downtime because I can't see what that says.
I
Lurk in,
can't.
what does that say? Lurk and work?
Lurk and work.
And
Work.
work
Lurk and
Lurk
in
work.
the
and work in this
stream.
stream. Come on. There's always nuggets or
Oh, I
laughs or
appreciate
giggles.
that.
you don't want to miss. Thank you. Appreciate you so much. We love coming on here. We have a good time. We have good conversations, and we like when you guys interact with us and talk with us because that's the whole point, connection. And we just want to continue to create something that people like to come to. And yeah,
And
my,
starting off with the topic, I mean, we're
mhm,
already talking about grief. This week, we're talking about current events, just kind of what's going on in the world and society. And
mhm,
Ian Alexander Jr., Regina King's son, he commit suicide
mhm,
um, last week. And it kind of seemed out of the blue. I mean, the last time I saw him on the red carpet with her, he I mean, he looked happy. He looked like he
mhm,
was taking charge and kind of speaking for himself and his mother, and I wouldn't have guessed. It took me
mhm.
aback.
Yeah, he was 26. He was
He was 26
26.
years old.
I think he was a DJ. And it seemed like he had a lot of stuff going on in his life, but that's
Hmm.
the thing with people. You never know what people are dealing with behind the scenes, and even though you might have all these feelings and all these issues, you just try your hardest to keep going and do the best you can, but sometimes I think it just gets overwhelming, and suicide
Yeah.
seems like the best option at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I just can't imagine. I can't imagine being a mom of a 26-year-old who committed suicide, and I don't know. I just feel like I don't know. It would
No.
just be so difficult because
I mean, I always think that being a mother to lose a child is it's overwhelming. It's
Mhm,
overwhelming. Like that's one of my biggest fears. But especially a child that is like right there at the cusp of everything. You're 26, you're starting your career, you're becoming a man, you learned a lot of lessons, and now you're about to embark on this part of your life where you're taking the knowledge and applying it and like really starting to run. And it's like I don't get to see that. She doesn't get to see grandkid. Like it's hard.
mhm.
It's
It's
hard.
a big loss there. I wonder what. I thought this might be an important topic. We all did think it was an important topic because we've shared throughout the podcast that all three of us have experienced suicidal thoughts, suicidal just state of mind. And so
Hmm.
I just thought we all thought it might be a good topic to talk about. I remember when I was in a suicidal state of mind. I think it was probably around this age range, 26 also. So
Yeah.
um I just think back to that time, and I just literally felt overwhelmed, and I just literally could not see a way out of the turmoil that I was existing in. And
Hmm.
I just thought, I need some relief. That was I need to be relieved because it's too much for me to handle, too much for me to bear, and I can't go on too much longer like this. And
Mm.
so I just think back to that time, what made the difference for me in my life, and why am I still here as opposed to, going ahead and going through with it. And I just think back to that time, I just like this young man, or a lot of people are so surprised. You would not have been able to tell that I was suicidal. I was definitely, you know, happy go lucky, just like me, just like how I am right now. And I I think I just had so many years of practice of being able to just put on this face
Yeah.
and not think about, or not I don't want to say think about, but I not um express the issues that I was dealing with.
Yeah.
And I think it just gets to a certain point where the issues are like, you're gonna have to deal with me. I think that's what happens. The issues just,
Yeah.
for me, the issues just kind of fled out. They just
Mhm.
they just flooded out.
I think the important thing that we have to remember is it's easy like it's easy to go out into the world and smile and mask and act like you're okay. Especially when you've had so many years of training doing it. Like um if we reflect, or me personally, if I reflect on my childhood, I heard a lot like, stop crying. What are you crying for? Your life isn't even that bad. You don't even go through that much. And it's like, but what I'm going through right now is making me cry. So just let me cry. So I think validating your own feelings is important. Don't you don't have to smile. You don't have to go out into the world and smile just because you think that's what is expected of you. Like,
Mhm.
be what you are in that moment. That doesn't mean you'll be like that forever. Doesn't mean you have to stay sad or stay down. Like, you'll change, and it'll feel so much better when you're genuinely smiling,
Mhm.
when you're genuinely carrying through life like that. And also, check on your friends beyond just, hey girl, let's go get a drink and go to the club and shake some booty. Check on your friends. Reach out to them on a Wednesday and see if they need help, and see if they're okay, see if they want to go grab lunch. Like, be there and be regular so that they know I don't have to just be around this person when it's time to turn up. I can be around this person in any space.
Mhm.
And it, like, make people know that you are truly supportive of them.
Mhm. I mean, I think for me at that time, I wouldn't even have known who to express this to,
Yeah.
even if, like, it was just such a great, like, in my mind, it was just such a grave and heavy thing, and everybody who in my life at that time was connected to me. So if I were to speak on the issues that I was dealing with, it was going to not just affect me, it's going to affect the people that I needed to confide in.
Mm-hmm.
So it is just such a, when you have issues going on inside you, it's so complicated. Um,
Yeah.
and and it's I think that's where, it's good to have it's some type of outlet, some type of information to where you can speak to people who are not necessarily so connected, because then you have to consider the people's feelings as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to just dealing with your shit. You have to consider, okay, who am I about to express it to, because it's killing me and I need to get it out. But who can I express it to where it's not going to kill them too? It's just gonna, I can get help. But
Mm-hmm.
we don't know what
Yeah.
he was going
Which
through.
is
But
why it's important to reach out to your people. Because if you already know, well, Brenda has asked me several times, you know, Brenda being a fake name, but Brenda has asked me several times if I'm okay or if there's anything she can help me with. So I know I can take this to her. It's like, it is hard to make those assumptions. It's hard to assume, like, which one of the friends is gonna be able to handle this and, like, rock with me. And you don't want to be people's burden. So when you know that that person is there for that reason, it, all the better.
mm,
All the better. And I'm a firm believer in, like I said before, like, I believe in soul families, and I believe that you have to invest in all of your relationships um wholeheartedly. I don't want to say equally, because obviously there's relationships that you're going to be giving more time to, depending on how often you guys are together, or uh where you are, because you might not be in the same state or city or whatever. But I do believe you have to invest in all of your relationships wholeheartedly. Your friends can't just be bystanders in your life while your boyfriend is the shining star. Everybody has to have their time in the spotlight.
mhm.
I'm
I
gonna go
just
to
want.
the
Oh, go
chat.
ahead.
Go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
I'm gonna go to the chat and see what's going on. I see some
I,
good.
you see some good comments. Go ahead. You can read some.
I see some good comments. Royal Confession said, practice of lights, camera, action, but hollow on the inside. Yes, that's exactly kind of what I was getting at. Being able to just go out there and tease, 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 and then as soon as you get home, oh, I can't stand this. Um,
Mhm, mhm.
I see a couple shout outs. I want to say hi to some people that I haven't seen before. I don't think I've seen Mac 522 in here before. So hi, Mac 522. DJ Leon the Great. Hi. I don't think I've seen that name before. And then all of our regulars. We've got the Rebel here today. We've got Sheila Miles here today. Royal Confessions here today. Shelly Thunder's in the building. DJ Stacy Blessed One. I'm just kind of scrolling through now to see everyone who's here. But thank you guys for being here. I would love to engage in more talk about how you've handled or you're handling your thoughts of not really wanting to be here. But
Yes.
while people kind of type that out, I want to go back to STL, because I know before we started, we talked about a time in your life where you kind of were having those feelings. I want you to get into that, if you don't mind.
Absolutely. Hey, Max said, "Yeah, I was here last time because she was the one who was talking to you all about Jaffrey, if y'all remember."
Yeah, I remember now.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that was
Yes.
Max 522. Appreciate
Okay,
her coming
gotcha.
back, and she is a streamer. Appreciate it. Leo the Great, he is a streamer. If you're not following him, I want you to follow him as well. To all of my streamers that are in here, DJ Stacy Blessed One, that's my girl. Put your times, put your information in the chat, and we'd love to have everybody following you. Now, so to get on the topic of suicide, and I saw where Shelly Thunder said, check on your strong friends. I would be one of those strong friends. I would be one of those that always had jokes and comedy to make everybody laugh. And I think sometimes the most comedic people to me oftentimes are the people that are hurting the most or have been hurt a lot. It's just something about all that pain that just comes out and you just start making cracks and jokes and whatever. You got to laugh to keep from crying. So it's that whole cover up of people don't anticipate or understand, and we don't necessarily show and reveal how much pain we're in. So I went through a phase where I definitely was suicidal for a long period of time. When you talk about those early 20s, Lena, I think it's really a pivotal time where you start making an assessment. Why am I here? Is it worth being here? I mean, just so many different things to start going through. So I will say that a victim of secrets and abuse that was not dealt with, and trying to still keep the ball rolling and all of that. So eventually I got to a point where I was very suicidal. I'm gonna share a poem that I wrote, and I shared this in the reality. I was in the bathroom on the floor with the razor blade when I wrote this. So this poem is called The Suicide, and poetry was my out. So I actually have a book of poetry that's like 150 pages through the years. That's always been my way of when I deal with something, I'll usually write a poem. So this poem is called The Suicide. Let me give a disclaimer. It is religious based from a theology that I no longer hold. So let me make that clear. It's from a religious basis that I no longer hold, but this is it. The Suicide. It all began in a little green church in a small town far away when the Lord began a special work in a small, unnoticed handmaid. He took one life full of hurt and pain, of tears and abuse and scars, and slowly banished memory's dread and erased the sin-stained Mars. He shattered the form of a broken vessel and created an uncracked mold, washed crimson stains and life's cruel pains, and brought forth a vessel of gold. He created a vessel for himself to be used for his own glory, to tell of his love that surpasses all knowledge, someone glad to tell the story. But as the vessel weathered the storms, small blemishes and cracks appeared, for the handmaid lost sight of who was in control and was overtaken with fears. Now, fear, knew the handmaid, was straight from the devil, a tool full of worry and torment. And in times past, straight to the Lord in prayer is where she went. But because she lost sight of her heavenly Father, she didn't see love's outstretched arm that was waiting to drive every fear away and to lead her to safety unharmed. She began to feel lost, alone, forsaken, and Satan was swift to step in. His lie that her saved life was all in vain led her feet to destruction and sin. To deal with one sin, she committed another, for her conscience would not give her rest. She laid hold of destruction for a life and thrown away the best. But yet God pleaded to take her back, and she simply ignored his call. He cried and he pleaded, he groaned and he wept, for he knew she was destined to fall. But she only ran swifter to her death, for her mind was in agony. Peace, dear God, was all she wanted in pills, a bottle, or somebody. She searched and she looked in all the wrong places, trying to fill her great void. She would have given $1 million for just 1 minute of joy. Until one day it all fell apart. She was caught in hopeless depression. Oh, the pains of one who has known the Lord, walks away and gets swallowed by sin. They found her there, swallowed in despair. The preacher looked on with dread. She knew scriptures full well, but to no avail, for there they found her dead. And in that same green church where it all began, her cold sin destroyed body was carried. And God wept the most over this lost life the day his handmaid was buried.
Wow.
It's
Thank you for
intense.
thank you
It's
for
very
sharing
intense.
that.
What I find very powerful in it is that I can't tell, and obviously you wrote it, so you could elaborate more. I can't tell if the handmaid is you, like the personification of you, or the troubles. Like I've now heard it twice, and it's still kind of what's giving me chills. Is like, are we laying to rest the troubles, or are we laying to rest literally the person? And I almost feel like the fact that, and I don't want to overstep, but I almost feel like the fact that you are still here means that just getting it out was you laying to rest the troubles. The handmaid was the troubles, and you needed to be able to put it out on paper. I don't know why is this making me so emotional. Like it's not even my life, but like you needed to be able to put it out into the world so that you could metaphorically wrestle with it and get it away from you, off of your shoulders.
I will say, given the fact that I was sitting on the floor with the razor blade in hand, with pen and paper, and it was either or. And I think the pen and paper was, is this my suicide note? Or, for real, for real. And somehow or another, there was enough of a lucid moment, if I can call it that, to really say, okay, what other way can we get this out? So I think, and particularly for people that are grappling with very painful secrets that they've been carrying a long, 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 long time, and you're tired of carrying it. And it's traumatizing to the brain, it's traumatizing to your emotions, it's traumatizing to every area of your existence. It was really more a matter of a scream and an outlet saying, this secret that's killing me, this hell that I'm in, I've got to say something, or else it's going to be a suicide note. So it was either the poem or a suicide note. And so the the story is pretty much, it's telling of myself, even though it may not be exactly, but basically the concept of this life of torture and hell. This is hell. I am literally in hell. I go to church, but I'm in hell. I know what to say. I know scriptures full well, but to no avail, because there they found me dead. I'm in hell. And I'm in hell, and nobody knows I'm in hell.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a matter
Now,
of being able to speak it.
mm-hmm. Have you shared this anywhere else? Have you been able to show this to anyone that you know personally, or who may know what you have, all the things or most of the things that you have been through?
I have really close friends that have read my book of poetry. A lot of it is dark because a lot of my life was dark. Some of it is very uplifting, and then of what I've written of late, it's going to be very positive. So the book of poetry is written like a metamorphosis from a worm crawling on the ground, and then going to the chrysalis of a caterpillar, and going in that cocoon phase, and then coming out a butterfly. I literally put it in those 3 segments to reflect the 3 different phases distinctly of my life. This would have been the worm crawling on the the ground. This would have definitely been the worm crawling on the ground phase. And I'll say, yes, close friends have read it. Now, this particular poem, in all honesty, I actually read it at a women's conference that I was doing, and you'd be surprised how many people I had come to the prayer time, because people started sharing their own experiences of being suicidal, and people started coming out of the woodwork. And that was just really, I think, for me, a transformative point in my ministry, because I realized getting up here preaching about Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego ain't it. When folks are dying, when folks are
Mhm.
literally in the same hell and pain that I'm in, this getting up here, getting
Right.
everybody in the jump and shout when they tore up from the floor up and ready to kill themselves, we're playing games with ourselves. And,
Mhm.
and so this was a turning point. And so I have shared it publicly in certain settings.
Yeah.
I want to give our chat, all our viewers, a chance. I know for some people, being able to express that, okay, yes, this is something that I've dealt with. It brings a certain ability to just like let go a little bit. Be able to express it gives you a little bit of power. So I want to let anybody who's viewing us, if you've ever experienced suicidal thoughts, suicidal state of mind, if you've ever been close, if you've ever tried to commit suicide, I want you to feel free to share that with us. Now, for some people, it's super personal. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to bring it up.
Mhm.
And it's just enough to hear about it right here. And that's fine. But if you feel like that could give you some relief or some type of community here, then I want you to feel free to post that, and we can all just kind of, be here for each other just in this moment. There ain't nothing else that's coming after that, just in this moment. Because, I think back to the time when I was suicidal. I wish I knew. I wish there was somebody or some. I wish there was people or something that I could just say. Yeah, this is something that I'm dealing with or have dealt with. Um,
Yeah.
so we just want to give that, and if you guys want to comment, definitely feel free. If not, it's a okay. Um, that poem was like you said, a
It's
lot of people
deep.
said it was deep. It touched some stuff, but I think, like what you said, it's important to talk about that stuff because you don't know what other people are going through, and just being able to speak on it could help somebody, and bring somebody out of some of the stuff that they kind of dealing with alone. So my question is, we're all spiritual on here. We come from the Christian background, whatever. What do you guys like? How has this suicidal experience or this suicidal state of mind that we've all experienced, how do y'all feel like that has affected your walk with God or your Christianity or your spirituality?
Oh.
I know that's kind of
Um.
that's a thick question.
It is a heavy question. I truly believe that back I was young when I was suicidal. Like, I mean, nobody. I mean, at no point should anybody ever be suicidal. But I was literally a kid. Um. But
Mhm.
I was dealing with deep struggles, like impossibly deep struggles. Um. And I felt abandoned by God. I'm like, this person who is supposed to protect me is overwatching me, is overwatching all of us. And like, do you not see all of this stuff happen? Like, you clearly see all of this stuff happening. So why is this happening to me? Like, why are you making me deal with this? And I'm just like,
Mhm.
well, I got to the point, which is why I became suicidal, where I was like, well, clearly he doesn't want me here. Like, there's no way you want someone here just going through all of this suffering. So clearly, he does not want me here.
Mhm.
So, it was to the point where I was like, I'm just gonna take matters into my own hands, and I attempted a few times. One time where, yes, sir, just a sec.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's on the other side of the counter. There's another one.
I think that
Mm-hmm.
this is a question while Shelly's talking to her baby. This is a question a lot of people are it's like another layer to suicide. Not only your issues or whatever, and I have to deal with this, but also,
Thank you.
what does it say about me and God, or what does
Yeah.
it say about
Mhm.
my religion and how close I am to God, or whatever like that. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. I had to address one of the kiddos, but I was just saying, like, I, yeah, I felt abandoned. I wanted to take matters into my own hands. The last time though, I was like, all right, you stop this for a reason. Because the last time required intervention, and I was just like, okay, so clearly you want me here, but like, what was all that for? And it made me commit to trying to learn the process. And what I had to understand is that we all have free will. So yeah, God may be omnipresent, but it's just like he can't stop me from committing sin, he can't stop anyone else from committing sin. So people doing wrong by me is not within his control. And that's kind of what I had to learn, is that this isn't something that he caused, and he was there with me. That's one powerful message that I heard from Good Grief this morning, is that every time, in lesser words, I'm sure, and I think it was Crazy Berrytown who said it. She said that every time she was in it, he was right there with her. And that's one thing she had to recognize, is that, or was that USTO? Someone said every time they were like
Yeah.
in the mess,
God is
God
in
was
here
right
with
there
me.
with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's like, I had to transform from he hates me, he doesn't want me here, I'm going to take matters into my own hands, to he's the reason why I'm still here. He drugged me like out of what I was experiencing. He gave me the voice to speak up and say, like, this has to stop. And move forward with my life. So that was a very, very impactful. And I don't want to be too vague. I'm always telling other people to be open. So um what drove me to being suicidal, it was the fact that I was molested. I was molested for quite some time by a care provider that my mom trusted, obviously. And this person not only molested me, but would also put a gun to my head and tell me that if I told anybody, that he would kill me and he would kill my mom and he would kill everybody. And I was 6. So that seemed very intense for me. So although I had my mom at home telling me, like, you can tell me anything and you can come to me with anything, I also had this person putting a gun to my head and telling me that I'll kill you and I'll kill her, so don't say anything. So yeah, that's kind of what drove me there. And then after that, I didn't tell my mom what was happening, but I begged her to just let me babysit my siblings. And I made it about money. I was like, "Oh, I need money for snacks at school or cheer stuff, and just let me babysit the kids, and you don't have to send us over to anybody. You don't have to waste the gas taking us to a daycare lady's house or anyone's house. I'll just watch the kids." And at that point I was 12. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. 2 of my siblings are autistic. And then my other brother, was me and him were just like super rowdy kids. So I mean, that threw me into a whole whirlwind of responsibilities that I wasn't ready for, but I knew I didn't want to be subjected to the abuse anymore. So I took that on instead, and that became worse than I thought it was going to be, but I guess better than being abused. So that's where I was, and I'm glad that I was pulled through it, and it did transform my relationship with God. Although I have a bad relationship with church and ministry right now, I think I do still have a strong relationship with God, and that opened my eyes to why I needed to have a strong relationship with God.
Mm-hmm.
Long answer to your question.
Love it. Thank you so much for sharing that. So very sorry that that's something you had to experience, but I'm so happy that you're still here with us today.
Absolutely.
It is a testament to your strength and a testament to what God has for your life. And I just think that even though it was such a really negative situation, I think the type of person that you are, I think you're going to take it, and I think that it's going to make it better. You're going to make your life future better. I think it's going to make you a better everything, a better mom, a better person, a better everything.
That's my hope. But it's also kind of why I'm a helicopter mom. Like, I side eye everybody who's around my kids, And
Mhm.
my husband's just like, you have got to loosen up a little bit. And I'm like, I'm trying, but like
Mhm.
I twitch because I can't. And he's like,
And
okay,
that's
but
a very normative response to
mm-hmm.
sexual abuse.
Yes.
Okay, and it's nothing wrong with it. Okay,
Yeah.
and what's going to happen is I think it's going to grow your discernment, and eventually it'll be less of a stress and then more of a just a discernment.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I appreciate
So
that. That's a good way to look at it.
yes, Sheila Miles said a very seductive suicidal thought is my loved ones will be better off without me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, this
But
is
how crazy is that? How crazy is that to think? Like, where do you get off thinking you're a burden?
But you're carrying the burden that you're the problem, which is a
mhm,
lot of what leads to the suicidal thoughts. So if I
Yeah.
wasn't here, all of this wouldn't be happening. Whatever twisted and that thought just gets lost somewhere in there. I'll say this even about the poem, and like I said, I don't espouse to this anymore. I look at it, I read it. This is the first time I've read it really in a long time. This is the first time I've actually shared it in a long time. I
Mm-hmm.
just don't live here anymore. And if you listen to the poem, the blame is on the handmaiden. If you don't
Yeah.
realize it or not, the blame is on the handmaiden. So this is the thing. I got all of these things going on in my life, but then I chose this, this, and this, and I chose something other than God. I chose, and so every way that you look at it, rather than dealing with the traumas that got the handmaiden to the point where she was suicidal anyway, I'm taking the
Mm-hmm.
blame. That is not my theology
Yeah.
anymore. And so, but church, if some religious sects can really have where you get this twisted concept of religiosity and what's the right thing to do and what's the wrong thing to do. Or even I bristle now when I hear people get up and say, oh, this happened to my neighbor next door, but it didn't happen to me because God's got, I'm like, your neighbor next door might have God too. How are you going to pull off, that kind of crap talking about it didn't happen to you but when you hear that kind of stuff and stuff's happening to you, then it makes you feel like I'm
mhm.
not the chosen one and God's hand is not on my life because all this hell going on in my world. I must be the child of the Antichrist and the demon seed. So I'm telling you, thought
Mm-mm.
processes, things that you
Mhm,
start going through that are twisted. And
mhm.
so when I hear people in religious affiliations that start going through that kind of stuff, where at the end of the day, for anybody that is suffering in that way, can leave a feeling of blame, let me blame myself. I just don't go there. That's not my theology. So it's not a bad, like I said, because she didn't choose God, all of these things just kept on piling on top of her. And then she still didn't choose God, and God's pulling and tugging at her, and she just keeps on making and I'm like, come on now. Come on now. If God can't see all the hell that I've been through, and if he ain't got no compassion for the hell I've been through, that's not the God I want to follow anyway.
Mm-mm.
So
I think that
my
go ahead.
theology changed. No, that's all I was going to say. My whole theology has changed.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I feel
love
like
that.
I'm kind of more so on that thought process too. When I remember being a kid and I remember being at church and people would like you have like prophets come or people would prophesy over people or people would be like, oh, I can tell you've been going through this and God has got a plan for you and all this. And I remember being jealous. And I remember talking to God all the time, like, when are you going to show somebody what I'm going through? When are you going to give me a deliverance? Because I'm struggling, but you delivered all
Yeah,
these other folks. Okay, I'll sit here and praise you for it, but don't you see what I'm going through?
yes,
Mm-hmm.
I
yes.
remember that it's crazy, but I think my suicidal period was definitely a breakthrough moment for me and God because I think up to that point, I was just like, you know what? I'm cool on it. I'm cool on you. I'm cool on whatever the hell the Bible say. I'm cool on I don't care what you got going on, what you want for my life. I don't care. Because obviously you don't see me. And so I guess I was upset with God. And
Yeah.
I
Lots of
feel
anger.
like when I got to that point where I was like, okay, yeah, I'm done with this. I'm out of here. I feel like I was at my lowest point of just, I was done. And I feel like, and I was hopeless.
Yeah.
And I feel like right there in that moment, God was like, just do it my way. And
Hmm.
I was like, what do I have to lose at this point? It was
Yeah.
like God was telling me, just try it my way. And then if it fucks up, then you can go ahead and do it, do what you had planned. But if you just try it my way,
Mm,
just trust me a little bit. And I had to do that. And by the grace of God, I'm still here. But I think that moment, I had to. It was almost like I had to shed this idea of God and this fake idea of God and this fake life.
Hmm.
And oh, I'm a Christian, I'm holy, I praise, and I wake up and I thank God for this day, and God is so good and He's a part of my life. And I just had to shed the bullshit. And then I had to be like, okay, yes, and this is me and
Which
God.
makes,
And
yeah, even that
we're
kind of stuff makes no kind of sense to Christianity, because it's like, I have to be happy every day, bro. And
yeah.
it's like, Jesus wasn't even happy every day, and he still went on with his prophecy, and he still went on to um, share the word of God, and through all of the sticks, through being condemned, through being talked about like he was the end of the world in a negative way, he still went on. Do we honestly think that he was smiling through all of this? Do we honestly think that he was Mr. Happy Go Lucky through all of this? No, he was sharing through the best that he could in those moments.
Mm-hmm.
So why
I,
would we expect anything less of ourselves? We're not even I mean, we are children of God, but we're not the one.
yeah.
And so I think that's so powerful too, is that Christianity has always told us like, oh, you have to be thankful, and what you have to be sad about. And it's just like, I wasn't given emotions to just ignore them. I wasn't given
yeah.
emotions to just like pacify myself and try to push through. Like, I should show my emotions. I should not let the people who care about me know how I feel, so they can, if they want to be there for me, they can be there for me. But if they know resources that I could utilize for myself, they can make those recommendations. Like, there's no need to just suffer.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you hit the nail on the head as far as those emotions are there for a reason. And sometimes
Mm-hmm.
we can get the pie in the sky by and by that totally negates our emotions entirely, which makes us, like we're not robots, but the behaviors that we expect and the expectations that we put on people is like trying to make people be like robots, but they really have feelings. And so at the end of the day, so when you talk about the feelings that you're having, and I'm trying to live up to the way they're telling me I need to respond and react to this and that and the other and da 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 da. So one of the very first things that I had to cover in my therapy with my therapist is that you're very depressed. You smile, you laugh, you hee hee, you kiki, you do all of this stuff, but you're extremely, extremely depressed.
Yeah.
And dealing with the reality that depression, and this is one of the definitions that he gave me to work through. Depression is anger turned inward. You're mad. I'm mad at all this stuff that's happened in my life. I'm mad that, there's a whole lot of stuff I was mad about. So I had to unpack all of that anger to get, because when you can't, be angry and sin not, it's like
Mm-hmm.
you can't be mad, you can't be angry. People are abusing me. What do you mean? People
Yeah.
are, and I had multiple violators. I'm one of those. I'm like, okay, do I have the scarlet letter? Is A just on my forehead? What's really going on here?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like at that point that I really had to address the fact that a lot of this behavior, and I'm gonna go back to my sense of humor, because I crack jokes all the time. I see you, Lena. I'm sending all kind of love and energy your way,
Oh
baby.
yeah, yeah. I'm good. Yeah, I made a decision. not to hide my emotions. It is, this is very. Go ahead. I'm good. Thank you. I
Yeah,
appreciate you.
but I appreciate you. But it's just that whole element of all of these years of suppressed and stuffed anger that I was taught to stuff by the people that, because they didn't know any better. I think Dr. Dady Priest said something on the other day when we were talking, and she commented, and we were talking about suicide as well, and she shared a story of her nephew, and it's just this reality that people, they don't have the tools. I had to step back and say they didn't have the tools to help me in the places that I needed help. They didn't have the tools. But in the meantime, as a little kid, like Lena said, you're getting in the prayer line, and all of this good stuff's happening for everybody else, and you're still going through sheer hell. I'm mad. I'm
Mhm.
devastated.
Yeah.
I'm shouting, I'm praising God, I'm singing, I'm directing the choir, I'm doing all this stuff that y'all tell me to do, but I'm toe up from the flow up, and I'm mad. And I can't
Yeah.
talk about it to anybody. So therein was the first place with my therapist that we started with. We need to unpack some of this anger that's turned, because you turn it on yourself. I can't release it outward. So all this anger is turned toward myself. And therein comes the depression that you just can't come out of. So, I mean, to this day, anybody that knows me, I am an advocate. Go get therapy. There's nothing wrong with it. There is absolutely positively nothing wrong with therapy, because some of this stuff needs to be worked through, talked out, and really dealt with so you can move on.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I'm an advocate for therapy too. I went to therapy, and it literally was. I feel like therapy saved my life. I really do.
Yeah.
Yes,
And
me
and
too.
I would suggest it for anybody. I
And
hear a
you
lot.
are not weak for wanting
Mhm,
or needing therapy. It does
mhm.
not
Correct.
make you weak.
Correct.
I think that's the common misconception, is that, oh, you can't deal with it. You need somebody else to help you deal with it. That's not what it is. Like, you shouldn't be you shouldn't be dealing with it alone. You shouldn't be carrying all this stuff on your own shoulders. And you
And
don't want to
sometimes,
see what happens when the weight gets too heavy. So
yeah.
go get the help that you need.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sometimes it's hard to talk about even the loved ones in our lives, either their actions against us or their inactions on our behalf. And so that can be a hard conversation to get into and start dealing with, looking at that stuff and staring you in the face and looking back at it and saying, okay, we got to deal with some stuff. I don't want to deal with the inaction on certain people's parts. And at the same time, I don't want to look at the actions of others. And these many times can be people that are really close in our circle. And it's hard to have those conversations. It can
Yeah.
be really hard to have those conversations.
Yeah. Diesel said being raised Catholic and Baptist is a whole mess. I was taught everything is a sin at school and in church that always said Jesus this or that with no reason, with no real world application of the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So um
Yeah. Yeah.
Max
Yeah.
say, got y'all on the car, don't want to miss this conversation. Appreciate
Thank
you.
you, sis. Thank you,
She
sis.
put when she was streaming later on, it was a little further down. Let me see if I can find it real quick. She's gonna be
Yeah.
streaming later on today, I believe. I think it
Yeah,
was 5:45 Eastern time. So if y'all want to catch her stream,
please
please
do.
definitely do that.
Appreciate
Um,
you.
yeah, so we just want to thank y'all. We want to encourage everybody, whoever might be going through this. We understand what's going on, and we just want to encourage everybody just to reach out for help. Um, if you have an inkling about a friend or a family member, call them and
And
try to talk to
understand
them
that if you
and pray
can't
for
reach
them.
know that if you can't reach out for help, because it is hard, it is difficult to try to kind of hand over your burdens or your problems to someone else. Reach out to somebody else. Reach out to somebody else and see what they may need from you. Um, and that might just start the conversation that both of you need to kind of get some of what you're carrying off of your shoulders.
Yes,
Maybe
yes,
that's what it takes, is for you to reach out and ask them what
yes.
they need.
And it is possible. You sitting here looking at three beautiful black women who've
Hey,
been through it, come through it, and is in a much better state. Praise God
Mm-hmm.
yes.
at this point.
Yes.
So it is possible, and it is, you can come out of it. So
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely, you can. Good. I want to, not that this conversation is not valuable because it absolutely is, but I do want to kind of move towards some of the other topics, maybe a little bit lighter topics. I think we've all gotten teary eyed today. I know I have, if no one else in the chat has. Um, the first thing I want to say before we move on is I know we said last week, but we are officially getting into setting up contestants for our dating segment.
Yes.
Swoon the Sweetheart, I'm sponsored by, premiering on premiering by reBOOT the podcast. We are looking for eligible bachelors and bachelorettes to come on. It could turn into a serious ting where you meet someone that you see potential in and want to move forward with dating.
Yes.
Or you could just come on and have some fun, chat with some cute girls, chat with some fine guys. I've got some games lined up that I want to play with everyone. But hit us up in the DMs. You can send us a whisper, DM us on Instagram. Just let us know if you want to be on Swoon the Sweetheart. We're trying to premiere in February, so we need contestants. So we need all the contestants we can get. Send over the information to all your single friends so that they can join us. We have
Yes.
fellas, we have lots of ladies interested, but not very many guys have DM'd me. So, I mean, like what? Like what's happening?
Don't be scared. This is gonna
Don't
be
be
a good
scared. What are
time.
you, an incel? No, you're not. So DM me.
And reBOOT the podcast will be providing some type of date option. You know, if y'all click, if y'all link, if y'all see, okay, this might be the one, or this might be something I'm interested in. After the podcast,
Yes,
we're
I
gonna
forgot. There's a prize.
there's a prize.
So we're
There's
gonna
a
try to
prize.
set you guys up if you're in the same city, with a cute little date night, or if you're not in the same city with like a little coffee ting.
Little virtual date. This is
Look,
2022.
and we're not talking about
Yes.
for all of you bougies in the chat. We're not talking about what's it called? The steakhouse, Ruth Chris.
Oh, no.
That's
No,
not
we
what we're
ain't. No,
talking
no.
about. We talk
Y'all
about
No.
silly.
we talking about
No,
some
we ain't doing that.
Applebee's, 2 for $20, $5 margarita,
Exactly.
light,
A little Starbucks.
easy.
Yeah. This the first date, not the
Right.
fifth.
Don't come on the show thinking you're gonna get wined and dined on
No.
dollar.
That's not what we're about to
You're
do.
not.
Okay. You're not gonna get a steak off of reBOOT. No, you're gonna get a cup of coffee, a cupcake, something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Thank
Starter stuff.
Thank you. We're gonna send you to
Okay.
Kroger. We might
Exactly.
have it DoorDashed.
Exactly. So don't. But you know, just it will still be awesome. So we want y'all to definitely DM us, reBOOT this on Facebook, and y'all will see our promos for it because it's gonna happen. It's gonna be a good show. We just want to give y'all an opportunity to be a part of it. Okay, so hit us up.
Mac 522 she's here for it. She's here for it.
Yes,
please. She'll even go to McDonald's.
The dollar menu, exactly. Let me say something. If you can't have good conversation, if you can have a connection, a good conversation over a McDouble, understand that you ain't gonna have a good conversation and connection over a steak. Okay, so understand that. No wine. No. DJ Stacey, no wine. Just maybe a little bit of, just a little bit of grape juice. Just a little bit.
Applebee's got those $5 margaritas. They're massive. So that could be it.
Yeah, that could be it. Come on, share a little wine and getting real close, real intimate.
Y'all got me dying.
Real intimate.
Yeah. So go ahead, Shelly.
Speaking of dating, has anyone seen? Now we don't have to linger on this too long because I know y'all hate these people. I know y'all do. Has anyone seen this great value Kim Kardashian, Kanye West has found himself?
Not great value.
this great value Kim Kardashian. Hang on, I'm trying to find her picture. Listen. She literally looks like she went to some random plastic surgeon in the DR and was like, make me look as close to Kim as possible, but like in a bad way. To see if I can get Kanye's attention.
Kim and Kanye are divorced officially. They've been divorced. And Kanye went out and find him a woman that looked just like Kim, but the great value version, as Shelly said.
Great value.
And I think it's quite hilarious. I really do.
I mean, because look, if this ain't,
This is the girl.
this is the, oh wait, this is the girl. This great value Kim. Y'all thought that was Kim, huh? She dressed like her and everything.
She look
It's
too
not.
skinny, but she do look just like Kim.
It's not. That's the thing. Like you can see. So when you get liposuction,
Mhm.
sometimes if the doctor is very aggressive, you can see the lines where the I don't know what it's called, the needle thing, because it's like a needle that they use to suck the fat out.
Oh
And you
wow.
can see the lines in their stomach where the needle thing went, right? And I feel like either she just recently got lipo, so that's why you can see her lines, or I don't know, maybe she didn't wear her compression garments how she was supposed to, because you can definitely tell that she got lipo.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
And does she now? What does she do? What is she? Who is she? Is she just a random?
Her name is Julia Fox. Let's see. Let's see what she does. Her name is Julia Fox.
Because I'm not completely surprised that he would go out and find somebody who looked just like him. Like obviously he got a little type.
But
Um,
also, let's talk about how toxic Kanye is, because in the very beginning of him and Kim's relationship, Kim always talks about how he would fly to Paris and he would tell off her stylist because they weren't making her look right, and he would bring her hotel rooms full of clothes and
oh
just
wow.
love bombing the mess out of her. And now
Mhm.
Julia Fox, his new girlfriend, is saying the same thing. Oh, he flew to my photo shoot and he had Dior set up in my hotel room for me so I could come pick outfits for my photo shoot. And it's like, it's giving repetitive.
I
It's
mean,
giving not one of a kind. It's giving he don't really care about you. He did this for everybody else.
that's his moves. What's she mad about? This is how he got Kim K. Why would he change up his stuff if he knew it worked? You know what I
That is
mean?
his move.
So
Okay, so she's
like
an Italian American actress. I've not seen her in anything. Let's see what movie she's been in.
she about to be in something now. Um, I don't see a problem with it. You know, she knew why she was getting that lipo and why she got all that surgery. She knew why she was doing it. Okay, you
Yes.
attract Kanye's. Now I have an
You
opinion of Kanye. Me personally, I don't think Kanye is crazy. I know a lot of people think he crazy. He done lost it. He on a little bit. I don't necessarily have that. I think he's a little extra. I think he's
for sure.
a little extra, but I don't necessarily think he's lost it all the way.
No,
So,
I don't
Now,
think he's lost it at all. I think
listen,
he's very strategic.
mm,
they're doing a documentary, and this I started to talk about it yesterday because it was on Twitter yesterday. But anyway, Kanye has a documentary that's coming out about him, and they
Lord have
said
mercy.
he becomes so unhinged that they're saying it was reported to me. What they're saying is that they actually turned cameras off and just shut down productions at time because they didn't want to expose how unhinged he was. Now, this is what they're reporting. This is what they are reporting. And to try and cover him so he didn't look so terribly off the hook, off the chains, and unhinged, they would just shut down production until he was better. Now that's what they said. That's what they said. That's what they told me. Now that's what they told me. So
I mean, I
what's
believe it.
unhinged?
I believe it.
mental imbalance.
And the reason why I believe it is look at all the great like genius minds. I fully believe that Kanye West has a genius mind. He transformed hip hop with the way that he used what is it? Where he makes the instruments sound like voices. Like that was him. He curated that sound. He was a phenomenal producer before he became a phenomenal rapper. I can't speak much to his most recent albums, but he's genuinely one of the greats, one of the most creative minds out there. And creative minds come from a place
Craziness.
of distress, I feel like. I mean, look at Vincent Van Gogh. Vincent Van Gogh cut off his own ear. You think that he was just blah, 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 painting and just was like, I wonder what this feels like. No, he clearly had an episode where that ear had to come off for one reason or another. So I think the two things sort of go hand in hand. Having some type of mental imbalance and then this genius creativity, the
Mhm.
two things might be, I mean, interchangeable.
Is it an issue with breaking up with somebody and then going to find somebody who looked just like that person? Is that an
Absolutely.
issue?
Absolutely.
Why? Why is it an
Absolutely.
issue?
I think it's different if, like, let's say you have a type. So, like, all the guys you've dated are like black guys, or like all the
Mhm.
girls you've dated are like blondes. But when you go find a woman who has had surgery identical to your ex-wife's surgery, and then you buy the house across the street from your ex-wife and torment her and her new boyfriend and her
Maybe
new boyfriend, it's you a little off the rocker, yay.
maybe he bought that house because he wants to co-parent and he doesn't want to have too much distance in between his kids.
So that's what he said. That's what I forget whose show he went on, but that's what he said. He said, I just want to be close to my kids. Kanye,
Yeah.
y'all all live in the hills. Y'all all live in the Hollywood Hills. Or I guess half the Kardashians live in Calabasas still, but it's like y'all can co-parent. Y'all can probably holler down the hill at each other like, hey, I got the
He
kids
didn't
on
want
Tuesday.
he didn't want to do that every other weekend. He didn't want to do that. He wanted to
I need to
do
be right across the street.
I'm gonna sleep half the night at mama's house, I'm gonna sleep the other half at daddy's house. Period.
And
Lena,
also, we have to
that joke is
consider that
mentally
these are like
unstable.
mansions. He didn't just go buy like a $250,000 house. He went and bought like a $10 million mansion just so he could be across the street from Kim.
He can't buy a house under 10 million. What does
You
Kanye look like buying a $2 million house?
Facts.
What's wrong with you?
Across the Stacey Bless ones that across the street is too much. It's too much. You're doing too much, sir.
I don't think so. Because as soon as hey, I told you to wash those dishes. You don't want to listen. Guess what? Leave that phone. Go to your dad's house. Yes, I told you what to do. You want. That's what I would be doing. Just
no,
simple. Just no.
Yes.
No.
Stacey Bless one also said, I miss his mom because she kept him in line. That's a great
Absolutely.
point. Like, maybe this goes hand in hand with his grief too. Like, he lost his mom extremely unexpected. You know what?
What?
I just got an even deeper thought.
What is it? Lay
His
on us.
mother passed away from complications with liposuction.
Oh wow.
So then you married Kim Kardashian, who is infamous for her plastic
Lipo
surgery.
queen. Hell yeah.
And then you find Julia Fox, who obviously
Connect the dots, Shelly. Connect them dots, Shelly. Go ahead.
And he has also talked about the fact that he got liposuction. Like, y'all, is this a cry for help?
Is he trying to retain his mother by dating women who also
crying for help? This is kind of crazy.
The rebel said, "Okay, murder." She wrote.
Right. Right. She connected them dots.
It's kind of. It almost makes me feel like he's really crying for help. Like,
I mean,
oh man,
doesn't he take meds and stuff? And he on medication and all that type of stuff?
Yeah, he is, but sometimes I've heard he refuses to take it.
He's not well. That baby's not well now.
Like
Come
Kim
on
has
now.
said when he did all the Trump rallies and out there saying Donald Trump. What did he say? Black people, black slaves deserved it or something like that. Black people wanted to be in slavery. He said something like that like 3 years ago.
He said at a certain point it's more of a choice.
Oh, slavery was a choice. Yes.
I'm gonna guess that somebody paid him to do that.
You know, I think he has mental illness. It manifests, and I think at certain points in times we see just a ridiculous level of it, and he can't help it. And I genuinely, even though we don't know, I genuinely believe the reports. Whose report do you believe? I believe of the folk that said they had to shut down production because he would just be literally that unhinged. I think the boy has mental problems, Lena. Now, he is a genius. I'm not going to take that away from him. And I do feel like some stuff he does strategically on purpose at given times with the plan behind it. I do believe that as well. But I think the boy he did something.
Little tinge or something.
Listen,
I mean,
he's a few bricks light. The light bulb's not all the way screwed in. Something ain't right.
I'm gonna say that I don't think Kanye is as crazy as he making it to seem. So I think that that's just my opinion because
I hear you. And it could be a performance. It could very well be a performance. So, that works to his favor, but at the end, I don't see how it's working to his favor. Because listen, to have half the world thinking that you done lost your cotton picking mind and you crazy as a loon, that no, ma'am, no, sir.
listen. And as far as him and this girl going to find somebody that look just like Kim Kardashian, I'm not surprised. He has a type. That's what he likes. That's what he's gonna go get. Like did I expect him to go get some, beautiful chocolate, woman, and I didn't expect that. So I'm not surprised.
So do we think that Amber Rose was the anomaly? Or do we think that the story is true that he was just dating Amber Rose to get back at
Kim,
what's his face? The rapper who dated her
Ray
before
J?
him. Yes, Ray J.
Amber Rose looks like Kim Kardashian to me too. She's a little more like
What? No.
darker. She got the short hair, but she got the same type of body, the booty, the boobs.
But I thought she was natural.
Is she? I don't know. I just assume everybody's not natural. That's what I assume. But
Kim's body ain't natural.
Why would he even be trying to get back at Ray J? Because Ray J made the song "I Hit It, I Hit It, I Would," whatever. Like Ray J and Kanye's not on the same level, so I don't see why he would need to try to get back at him. That's just my opinion.
Now, we talked about Ray J extensively this morning, not to change the subject, but just a quick question. Did y'all know Ray J had a video out? How come I didn't know it?
Had a video out?
Kim?
Okay, that's all I needed. Okay, go back to the other topic.
He had the sex tape with Kim.
Okay, go back to the other topic. We're not going to stop and detour. I just wanted to know that y'all know it. But okay, let's keep going.
That is what launched that woman's career.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I'm just keeping it honest.
No, I haven't seen it.
You haven't?
I had a viewership this morning. They had seen it. So anyway, that's all right. That's all right. I didn't no detour. Keep going. Keep going. Get back to it.
So that's another thing. Like, I know Kanye's seen the video. I know Kanye has seen the video. You think he gets like manic and he like brings him into the theater and he plays the video?
He plays it on the big theater.
How come you don't be doing me like this? Huh?
What make y'all think? Well, shoot.
You see your face? You ain't never made that face in the bedroom with me. Listen.
That's funny. I haven't seen it. I mean, I can't stand Ray J because
I've seen it, and I'm just saying from a personal perspective, I couldn't be with the woman after seeing it because it's just like,
why not?
That was real. That was not acting.
What's so bad about it? She was having a sexual experience with a different man. Who cares?
I can't see it. I can't see it.
Who cares?
I don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it? What is it going to change? You already knew that she was with other people before you.
It changes everything. That might drive me crazy. I cannot see it. I know you've been with other people, but like, I don't want to see the video.
So you jealous too? Y'all been getting on me this whole time talking about I'm jealous.
That's where my
You're jealous too.
Right?
She got a video and you got the cake.
Because I could watch the video.
You could? Oh, no.
Jesus.
Now I'm gonna give you a hard time. You like that cake?
Don't start.
Because I'm gonna give you a hard time, but I mean it's not gonna. You with me now? Obviously, what she was doing didn't keep you.
You know what's so funny?
No, I want to take that back. I shouldn't have said that. Obviously, when y'all was together, y'all didn't work out. So I'm not threatened by it.
Yeah, right. Y'all think this woman who was ready to kill over
a pound cake took her out.
Tape.
The pound cake took her out, baby.
I wasn't ready to kill. But I was a little like,
okay,
yes,
Lena.
Max said, are we not aware of the rumor of of Jeffree and Kanye. Yes, we are. I am, and I believe it. I believe it.
This what we talked about last week or the week before.
Yes, that's another coincidence. Kanye West buys a mansion in Wyoming. Wyoming?
Why y'all mad at him for buying houses? Everybody that got money buy multiple houses in different
5
multiple
minutes
places.
later, Jeffree Star buys a mansion in Wyoming. Kanye disappears to Wyoming. Jeffree disappears to Wyoming. All of a sudden, Kanye and Kim getting divorced.
Y'all, what murder she wrote? What's her name? I can't think of her name. Jessica. Jessica's in the room today.
Wyoming got all them tax breaks, don't they? Ain't that the state that got all them tax breaks?
Oh no, but it's real fishy.
All I'm saying is it must be like a good market right now. I don't know if it's just who else has bought a house down there.
What millionaire is looking for a good market? They don't even care. They're just like, I want that house. I don't care that there's a family of 5 living in there. Kick them out. Offer them $5 million over asking. I want the house. Give me the house.
All millionaires is looking for a good deal.
Yeah, right.
That's how they get to that point. Most of them.
Yeah, I mean that could be true too. That could be true too.
Mm-mm.
I can't with Kanye. I rocked with Kanye. He was there with me in those dark moments. So these days I'm just like, every time he does something, I'm just like, you betrayed me once again. You have betrayed me once again, dear sir.
Was his dark connecting with your dark? Is that what was going on? Y'all had dark spirits hooking up.
Trauma bond.
You know how you get high and you can decipher song lyrics? Mm-hmm. This was before I was even smoking, where I could like really connect to Kanye and his lyrics. And I knew the deeper meaning behind the flashing lights and the good life. Like he really feel what he was putting out beyond the good beat.
Y'all had kindred spirit connection.
Listen. And these days I just be like, who are you?
I never was a Kanye fan.
But that's because you got clear and he didn't.
Listen, hey.
Wow.
Hey now.
You got clear and he didn't. Okay, I'm halfway playing, but I hear you.
And I mean, I don't know. But Kanye, something's got to give. He's got to open his eyes. He's got to get some help.
He's out there.
Kanye's doing fine. He found a new woman.
The kids are starting to realize. I mean, we all know now that North knows they're famous after the whole incident with North and Penelope hopping on Instagram Live.
What happened?
So I don't know if it was Kim's phone or Courtney's phone, but Penelope is Courtney's oldest daughter, and North is Kanye and Kim's oldest daughter. And something happened where they grabbed one of their mom's phones and went on Instagram Live, and they were just like, we're famous. You guys love our moms. Like, what do you guys want us to do? What do you want to know about our moms? We can tell you anything. And North is like dragging Kim through the mud. That's the funny part.
Oh no.
She's giving up all Kim's goods. But
disaster.
So North knows. Like, North clearly knows who her parents are in respect to like their fame and their notoriety. And like Kanye, if you don't cool it, she's gonna know all of this wild stuff you're doing to spite her mother.
So is this the birthday? Is this the child that had the birthday that Kanye was banned from that he was so mad about?
No, I think that was the youngest daughter. They had a birthday at Kim's house for Chicago, and I don't know if they didn't want him there or what the story was, but yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I hope they have they figure out their parents and stuff, and I hope Kanye, I hope Kim is the great value new girl. Who's the new girl? And he just now realized it.
New value. Y'all killing me.
I hope he realized, okay, dang, I thought that Kim was the actual one, but you actually the one. She's the great value version of you. So
show your face.
Yeah. It's an episode. I'll be watching New Girl. It's an episode of New Girl like that.
Oh my gosh, I love New Girl.
Do you remember the episode where she was with Genslinger and he found a new girl he was gonna propose to this little woman and she was like, this girl looks just like me. He went out and found somebody just like me. But in all actuality, it was her. The new girl was actually the one that he's supposed to be with. Do you know what episode I'm
Okay,
talking
wait.
about?
No, I'm sorry. Run it back one more time.
Okay, when she was dating Genslinger, and then she ended up they broke up, but it was like some seasons later they ended up having sex again. But he
Yes.
was engaged to the little girl, not the little girl, the
Oh
woman.
yes.
And then she was like, "Oh, okay, so I'm the great value version."
Yes. Okay, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Oh man, it comes back around. You gotta keep watching. New Girl is one of the best shows ever.
I love New Girl. I've watched
Oh
it
my
like
gosh.
7 times. 7 times
Oh,
through.
you've watched it through already. Oh, okay, so you know.
7 times through. And every time when I'm talking to a guy and I try to be flirting with him, I always send him New Girl gifts because
Gifts?
she's just so funny when she's like, "Oh, how do you learn that she's doing that thing?" Or
Mm-hmm.
the one where she was like, "I want to see a caboose." That's my favorite scene. It's so funny.
I love it. Can we talk about? I mean, we don't have to get deep into New Girl, but can we talk about how Nick was so undeserving of her?
You think so?
So undeserving of her. Like the whole time I'm watching the show, and I'm like, Nick is a piece of trash. Like, what does she keep going back to this man for?
Nick wasn't trash. He was just he was unfiltered. He was like he wasn't, I don't know what the word
He
is.
was garbage.
Unpolished, okay?
He
But
was
Nick was a good man.
garbage.
He treated
Yeah.
her the best. He had that whole movie theater party for her. Gave her the helmet that his daddy gave him. What
Everything
else did
he
Nick
did for
do?
her was by word of Schmidt. If Schmidt was never there to give him advice, he'd have
Yeah.
never even taken that step. I wanted her to be with was it
The doctor?
um was he a doctor? I can't
Or
I
the
haven't
old
watched it in
man? Are
so
you talking about
long.
Russell? You talking about Russell? I liked Russell.
I
Genslinger,
feel
Russell.
hold on, I'm gonna Google which one it was.
The doctor who was they started off as like and then they end up coming into something. And then who else? Who else did she date?
Yes,
I don't know.
Russell. Yes. Oh my gosh. First of
Russell.
all, I don't know how to say his name. Dermot Mulroney. That's the actor that played Russell. He's one of my favorite. Like, what do they call him? Gray fox, silver fox actors.
Very dreamy. Very dreamy.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Like
the guy for people. For people who don't know, well, I don't know his actual name, but he's the guy who played in My Best Friend's Wedding. He was the best friend. So if you know
Oh, I've
that,
never
then you
seen
know.
that.
What?
Never seen
We got to
it.
cut this podcast off. We gonna see y'all later.
So
You ain't never
dreamy.
seen My Best Friend's Wedding?
No, I've never seen My Best Friend's Wedding. But you know what's
Shelly,
so crazy?
Shelly,
The
Shelly,
reboot of
Shelly. I don't
I'm
want to hear anything
sorry.
else. I don't want to hear
I'm
anything else.
sorry.
That's your homework.
Okay, I'm Googling it right now.
That is your homework. It's such a good movie. Yeah,
My
he
Best
is a
Friend's
great
Wedding.
fox.
What's it on? Where can I watch it on?
I don't know. We just got it on VHS.
Okay, it's on Prime TV, so I'll watch it tonight.
Okay, so
It's on Prime
good.
TV.
It's so good. I cannot believe you've never seen it. When I tell you, me and my sister have seen this movie like 50, 11 times, I can tell
Yeah?
you if backwards and forwards. We watched a lot of movies as kids. I can tell you
Yes.
backwards and forwards.
Yes.
And it's a movie that I watched as a child and then I watched as an adult and it's still good. You know, sometimes you watch the movie when you older, you be like, oh, that shit is trash. It's not. It's really good. It's a really good movie.
I love movies like that.
Me too.
I do.
Dang, Shelly, that's crazy.
I'm sorry.
That just blew my mind.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
The next thing I wanted to get into that's kind of going on currently.
Okay.
Pastor Michael Todd.
Oh my God.
Let's touch on it.
Mr. Relationship Goals. Mr. I'm the new era. Mr.
And he is.
Okay.
Wait, first, before we get into it, have you watched any of his sermons? Have you listened to any of his stuff? Have you read any of his books? Before we get on him.
I watched the sermon a long time ago. I'm not even gonna lie. I haven't watched a full sermon in a long time. And the reason why I watched the sermon is because my cousin shared it on her Instagram stories. Well, a snippet of it. So I went and found excuse me. I went and found the audio version of the whole thing. And the one that I watched, I really liked. Now, what rubbed me the wrong way about it is the fact that that sermon seemed to be a promo for his book, because this was around the time he was releasing the book. So it's like, did you only put this message out? It wasn't what was on your heart. It was just like, this was strategic. You did this just to promo your book. So that rubbed me the wrong way, which is why I never really went back. But the message in the sermon was like, being, how there's no rule book to being godly. Like, whatever your convictions are, you don't have to kind of shun yourself away from following a godly path because of the sins that you've committed. And I really liked the message, but then after doing research and seeing like, oh, you're just trying to lure us into buying your book. Because then it turned into like dating and taking, and every time you get into a new relationship, like you don't have to commit the same sins that you did in the last relationship, blah, 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 blah. So that was the last one I watched of him. And then I saw this video on my timeline, thanks to the Shade Room. And Pastor Michael Todd was swirling around two loogies in his hand.
He was swirling. That's what's funny. He was.
And he was
with
two loogies in his hand. And then there was a nice gentleman standing next to him. And Pastor Michael Todd said, sometimes your blessings will come by nasty means. And he did a nice baseball wind-up. And he slapped the loogies in this good brother's hand. In his face, I mean. In his
This
face.
modest man. This meek man. Go ahead.
And then the loogies dripped off of this good man's face onto the floor. And I couldn't watch anymore.
Hey, Kim Possible. Hey, thanks for coming in. Listen,
and I'm not exaggerating. If you want to see the video, I couldn't find a clear one or one that didn't have like a ton of news anchors talking around it. If you want to see the video, go to Instagram. You could probably go in your search bar and type in the Shade Room hashtag Michael Todd, Pastor Michael Todd.
You can go on Instagram and just type in spit and he'll come up.
I think that video is on the older side, isn't it? Is it new or is it older?
No, is it older? Let's see.
Ago.
I want to say
2-3 weeks ago.
I want to say I've seen this. For some reason, I feel like I've seen this some years ago when I first heard about Michael Todd.
No, he just did this the other week.
Yeah, this just happened because they said that he went on TMZ January 17th to apologize.
Yeah, I've just seen that come up. He wanted to apologize. What is okay, there is a parable in the Bible. There's a story about Jesus coming up on this man, and the man is blind, and the people are like, Jesus, can you heal him? And Jesus like takes the spit, Jesus spits in his hand, and Jesus rubs it with mud, and he puts it on the man's eyes, and then he heals the man's vision. Now the man can see. He's not blind anymore.
There wasn't no mud.
I just Googled it.
Wait. What you saying, G? Wait, what you saying?
No mud. It was just goobers.
It was just spit. Okay. Yeah. I don't know where I got the mud from. I was trying to make it better.
No. The Bible, the story in the Bible is mud. I'm saying the the story in the Bible and what he did was that he just did harked up goober spit.
Would it have been better if he had a little mud and a little plating up there? Which y'all wouldn't have gave him no chance still. Y'all don't like that.
I wouldn't have given him not a lick of chance because you ain't Jesus. Who do you think you are?
But do y'all understand what he was trying to express? Like, did y'all get the sermon? Did it bless you in any type of way, or was you just so distracted by the spit?
Girl,
I just want to know what the conversation was with. Yes, can y'all tell Brother Williams to come on in here for me? And I want y'all to leave. I just need to talk to Brother Williams for this after the sermon. Could y'all imagine the conversation?
Look at Rebel.
Nope.
No, he wasn't saying shit. Listen, I don't even. How do you ask somebody that if you could put spit on? Is it okay if I put some for the glory of the Lord?
That was his brother. Just FYI, that was his brother.
That's even worse. Like, who the hell you think you
It
talking
was
to?
his brother.
Yeah, that was his brother.
There's something else going on.
No, that's his biological brother.
I don't like it.
How do you ask somebody that? How do you ask somebody, can I put some spit on your eyes just for the glory of the Lord, for the furthering of the kingdom?
He
This is what
he rubbed it all across his face.
God has told me to do this. Do y'all? So Shelly doesn't think.
And also,
this-
when his brother agreed, he probably thought that Michael was gonna like put some water in his mouth and like fake spit. He didn't think that his brother was gonna go and rub it on his face.
All I'm saying is everybody's talking about it. So I feel like it did exactly what he wanted it to do.
It was viral.
That's what I think. I don't see any issue with him promoing stuff for his book because I mean everybody else does it. We only have an issue with it because he's supposed to be a godly, holy man, and don't try to come for us and promo stuff, and you trying to express, you want us to buy this book. I don't necessarily see.
So someone else tried to make that point on Instagram. They were like, "Well, all these girls these days talking about spit on my face, whatever Mulatto said in that one song." But I'm like, we're not saying hawk a fucking loogie on my face, bro. I'm saying like a little bit of drip down on my face. Like there's a difference.
Yeah.
I don't even want the drip. I don't even want.
Make it.
Don't hark. Don't hark.
Yeah.
He pulled that up from the depths of his soul.
Don't do that.
That man pulled that up.
It sounded like it had a little bit of COVID in it.
Listen, it was too much.
Truck driver said, "No way I will let my brother spit on me." Come on, welcome to the listen.
Truck driver, Shelly Thunder, good to see both of you. Yeah, I mean, it was taken out of context as far as the way he was trying to present the story. And I felt like it was an attempt at sensationalism to make it go viral. And I think it did just what he wanted it to do, go viral.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, everybody's going back and watching all his other sermons. He always doing crazy stuff. He be having boats up on the stage. He be doing all type of stuff. Michael Todd be doing all type of stuff. He make trap music with gospel music. And I mean, that's just his MO. So
I'm here for all of that. But
not Clear Eyes. Rebel said Clear Eyes.
The spit was too much for me.
It wouldn't have been my calling. He could have told me this is gonna get you in heaven. You can do whatever else you want to do. This gonna get you in heaven. I'll be like, you know what? I'm gonna take my chances with Jesus regularly, because then how do you? The brother now, when he come to the church, everybody gonna think about when Michael Todd rubbed that spit in his eyes. Is he married? Is he married? Because every time I see him, I'll be like, look at my husband. Why would he let him rub that spit in his face? I cannot take it.
Listen,
I was like, husband, why?
Yeah.
I don't know, whatever. Yes, Rebel said his music is the jam. It really is. Just keep praying. I don't know. He be saying all type of stuff. Michael Todd is dope to me. I like a lot of his sermons. Has anybody ever went back and listened to any of his stuff?
Like I said, I listened to that one, but nothing more.
I like a lot of his sermons. He's a young man on fire for the Lord. Can you really be mad about it? Yeah. This is the age of today. People literally sit around and try to figure out stuff to do to get a viral video, because once you get that viral video, you got a little platform. You do that, you can really make some money. You can make even if he's not after money, you can access a lot more people. So
that's true.
Yeah,
that is true. So maybe that's what his motivation was, but that's, as a minister, you've already done sensational things. I mean, like you just said, he's combined music, he's brought the boats onto the stage, but like, where's the line, Michael Todd?
There ain't a line with Jesus, okay? Crazy faith. That's what Michael Todd said. Crazy faith. I can't say too many bad things about Michael Todd. I'm gonna tell y'all a little story what happened to me. So I don't talk about people who are preachers and stuff like that. I don't do that anymore because one time I was in my mama's house and it wasn't nothing in the floor. It was just clear floor, just nothing. Okay. And TD Jakes came on the TV. All right. And at the time, I'm always trying to say something funny. It just comes out of me. I'm always saying something funny. And I said something like, I was walking across the floor and I said, TD Jakes ain't nothing, this and that and that. I said something funny about, I don't know what it was. But when I told you, once it came out of my mouth, I tripped over something and fell on the floor. And it was nothing to trip over. My feet didn't touch. It tripped over something. I fell on the floor and I was like, what the hell was that? And so ever since then, I don't mess with the shepherd. People who call themselves shepherds, the Lord, they preach. Well, I don't say nothing because that was a warning for me. So I'm going to, Michael Todd, do your thing. That's what it is, and I ain't gonna say nothing negative. Ever since then, I don't play. I don't say nothing negative about T. Jakes, nothing. I'll just leave it where it is. Simple as that. Now
let's get into, because we spent a lot of time talking about grief, which I really appreciated. I needed that conversation.
Yes.
Let's get into, we can try to do a couple turn that thing around and then maybe get out of here.
Let's do it. I'm really excited about turning that thing around because we got some good ones for y'all. I'm gonna let Shelly go first. Turn that thing around. I'm gonna give y'all.
That thing around. I have to take out my video so I can bring up the mine. Give me a sec.
Y'all know what it is. I want everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching, I want y'all to comment on this, turn that thing around. Tell me what y'all think. How would you turn that thing around personally? We all go through a lot of difficult things, a lot of things that kind of be like, that ain't right. But the objective is to stay positive. How can I look at this in a positive perspective? And if you can do that, I'm telling you, anything that comes your way, it don't have a chance. So that's the point of turning the thing around. I'm excited. And Shelly's going to start us off because she got 2. I got 1. So we'll start with Shelly. Okay, go ahead.
All right. I have some knock you off your boots, turn that thing around today. The first one's actually kind of simple. I can see some different scenarios for this one. So,
okay,
you have gone viral on social media, Michael Todd.
Okay.
For a video where you're making fun of your mother. In your mind, it was harmless, just jokes, but she calls you crying about it and asks you to take it down. Wow, there's a typo in here, but there are major brands calling, asking you to turn this sketch into a commercial. Turn that thing around.
How much money they offering?
I mean, commercial deals go from like 15,000 to 20,000, and then you get royalties for runtime. So you can make some good money on commercials.
This one is kind of simple for me. I'm gonna take it down, and I'm gonna turn the sketches down because my mama, she didn't call me crying. That never happens. My mama, you ain't gonna catch my mama crying to me. You catch my mama crying, be very thankful because you ain't gonna catch it. I would be very tormented if I did not take it down. I would just go ahead and take it down. I would try to come up with something funny that's different and put that up. Since I did go viral, maybe people would latch on to that. But I would go ahead and take it down and turn down I would just try to get them to let me do a different type of sketch, but I wouldn't go forward with that. Even if they said 50,000, I'd be like, you know what, I'm cool on it. Because I done jacked my mama up. And the Bible say honor your parents. And now I done dishonored my mama. And now I gotta spend the next 15
But it was
years
just
trying to
jokes. Do you just tell her like, Mom, it was jokes. I'll split the money with you, but we gonna make this deal go.
listen. My mama gonna be like, girl, I don't want to look at that money. And I'm gonna be
Take it
like,
down.
Mama, you right. I'm gonna take it down. Love you. I would just go and have to take it. I would just have to take it down. I had to lose all the money. Like I can't be using my mama for. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Listen,
What
I might
possessed
have
me to do it in the first place? That was the devil.
Me and Mama might have to negotiate.
What'd you say? You ain't playing.
We might have to negotiate because
Truck
look,
driver said, "Oh, go ahead, go ahead. You gonna
No,
take the
I was
money."
just saying, I don't know about that.
Truck driver said, "I will take it down if it hurts my mom."
Oh,
Yes.
how sweet. Y'all are nice.
Spiritual
So
thought leader,
listen.
exactly. Rebel Link said, "Ha ha ha ha." What that mean? It's the devil, right? Exactly. Because
I don't know, man.
I ain't trying to get looked side out at for the rest of my life. You know how many times I be needing my mama, I call my mama, and just not now she looking at me crazy because I don't. No, I can't even imagine it.
And I would be in the background like, oh, Mom, that's such a nice kitchen upgrade you got.
It wasn't it worth it?
That you just didn't like so much.
Wasn't it worth it, lady?
Ain't God good?
Just take it as a joke. It's just a little joke. It's just a little joke. You want me to take you on a cruise? I made $50,000. I can spend $3,000 real quick.
Right. Listen.
I just don't go there and take it down. It is what it is.
Yeah,
Money come, money come, money go. You only get one mama.
I love
So
that. I love that.
I would just have to go ahead.
Okay, hit me.
Shelly Thunder. Oh, it's my turn. Shelly Thunder said, if she pissed me off enough, better believe I'm a profit from it. Oh, she said I'm okay. Listen, it be like that sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna learn today, mama.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do mine. You ready?
Yes.
Now this is pre-marriage. This is back in your dating years, you know. This is back when you was, you know, Shelly, Welly, you know what's up. Okay, here it is. But you had kids. So anyways, here it is.
Okay.
You found a babysitter and you or your love interest decide to go out, okay, for the first time. You go to dinner, the waitress, and you have one thing in common, your date. She dated him a few months back. You guys decide to have a change of scenery. Okay. Y'all go to the bowling alley. And the guy who gives you the shoes tell you watch out for your date because he's definitely a wild card. Okay. So later on, you ask your date, how many people have you been with? You know, and he tells you over 200. You ask him, when's the last time he had sex? And he says, this morning. You guys have been texting and talking on the phone for about 3 months now. And you thought you guys were exclusive. He says, y'all are exclusive, but he is a sex addict. Turn that thing around.
Wow. Okay, so when you say been with over 200, you mean been with over 200.
Yep.
Man, and you dating all these people? If you an addict, usually you go get it and get out the way.
Well, that is what happened. So he's saying that it's separate from his sexual encounters are separate from the people he date, you know.
Okay.
But since he's a sex addict, he has to do it.
Well, sir,
200.
as much as I have enjoyed spending time with you, and it's all been wonderful. It's all been great.
You like him. You really like him.
I'm gonna have to recuse myself. Recluse, whatever. I gotta get up out of here. Because
Why?
No. I can't at this point in time.
But can't you appreciate his honesty? He told you it was this morning. He could have told you he had sex 2 months ago. He told you this morning.
I do appreciate the honesty, but you got to work on those problems. You got to work on these problems. And
but he is working on it.
Something. If I no, I can't.
His therapist told him.
Single, and I also have I have to protect my children as well. Like, no, sir. First of all,
therapist.
I'm one of those people who have I've always thought that like if you become single, yes, baby.
His therapist told him it's time for him to get into a relationship, and that would help him
Not right
with
now, baby.
the stuff. Okay, so this is him trying to be better.
Yeah. I mean I get it, but you've got to go to therapy. You've got to start meetings. There's a whole plethora of things that you have to go through. And at that point, if I was at that point where I'm like single, I have my kids to worry about. Now I'm gonna have, like I do have to worry about my children's father. I can't just ignore him. No, you're not the piece of the puzzle at this time. You're not the piece of the puzzle.
Max said he probably slept with the therapist.
I'm saying, what's going on?
Oh shoot!
Nah, we gotta move around.
Listen, Lady T said he can find a new woman to experiment a relationship with. Shelly 30 said, sorry, I don't share, and I know I'm enough, so good luck on your healing.
Yeah, for sure.
Listen, he was waiting to have the actual date. He liked you. Y'all been talking for 3 months. Now that y'all have the date, he's willing to just work. He just wants to be with you at this point.
He's waiting on Shelly to turn that thing around.
Literally.
Literally, turn that thing around.
No, sir. I'm sorry.
And not me now.
Right now. Not now, but right now. Turn that thing around.
I can do it. Yeah. I have no investment into you at this point, except for like the time I've spent talking to you and being with you. I have to protect my assets. I got to protect my legacy, which is my kids and their future.
He likes assets.
I mean, he's a very responsible sexual person. He used protection. He gets tested on the regular. It's just that he has to do it a lot. Mm-hmm. Okay, now he did ask you, and you said you had a high sex drive, which made him happy. So he's willing just to mess with you at this time.
But I feel like even if my sex drive is high to an addict, like it's never gonna be enough. And then like even as a person with a high sex drive, like you don't always have that high sex drive. Sometimes you do have lags, but that don't matter to an addict. They still need to get it.
That's what the lube is for.
I can't. But I think I would recommend that he go have therapy. We would have to take a step back in our relationship. I'm not saying I would shun him forever. I would still be in support of him in his journey and let him know, like, if you need help, if you need someone to talk to,
He needs help. He needs help.
But I need to open up my options.
He just needs to be a little further along.
But I gotta open up my options, sir.
And those options are legs, according to him. Those options are 2 legs.
That's what he thinks. That is what he thinks.
Shelly, am I hearing though that you would not necessarily X him off your list if he gets better? If he had gotten better down the road, he still has an opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely. I just can't walk with you through the healing journey. I already have too much to kind of take care of. And at this point in the dating journey, I would think that like, nah.
Listen.
I'm not willing to take on this baggage.
Is it S. Jor? Am I saying that right? Yeah, they said, see you later, alligator. And put a little gift. That's funny. Roy Convention said, did he have sex that morning or did he use the 5-finger discount?
I need to know. Inquiring minds would like to know because there is a difference.
He has sex.
Okay, no.
Okay, he tired of 5 fingers. He need a real thing.
Are you able to run to
the bowling alley guy?
Morning breath.
Bill said, I did not have sex with that woman.
I did not. Okay.
I did not have sex. That's what Bill said. I did not have sex with that woman.
I believe him too. When I seen it, I said that man tell the truth. I could tell.
No, that'd be over the top at that moment for me.
He was not. Okay.
Do you want to do one more? Or you want to get out of here?
Let's. It's up to you. Lady T said, "Thank you for your honesty, but I honestly can't date you. I am addicted to monogamy."
I agree. We can do one more. This one's pretty short. This is really short, actually.
Okay.
All right. you meet your favorite celebrity at a hookah lounge.
Mm-hmm.
You're drunk. You just started talking, and you're drunk, and you guys just started talking, and y'all are really connecting. You start to get cozy.
Oh, I love to get cozy. Go ahead.
But then you remember they're in a relationship.
Oh,
They've
shit.
already mentioned they want you to come home with them. What do you do? Turn the thing around.
No. How drunk am I?
Drunk.
It's my celebrity crush. Who's my celebrity crush? Let me put a face to it. Like Lance Groves or that man off of Lance Groves, or the man off of
Oh, Lance Gross.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a good one.
God, dog. It's okay. He's in a relationship, not me.
He's in a relationship, not you.
Yes. I'm so stressed out right now.
You stressed out, Lena?
Because I always say I would never mess with somebody who was famous or got money or all that, because they just have so much opportunity to, do that. Would I be that girl? It's just a one-time thing, right? I can't pass up the chance to be with Lance Groves or let me see, who else do I have a celebrity crush? Who else do I like? I don't know. Could I pass up a chance to be with that?
Do you watch Queen Sugar?
Yes, that man.
Blue?
Man. Cool.
That's exactly who I thought of. What is his name?
Too. Coochie or something?
I'm gonna look it up. He also played
in Girls Trip.
Oh, yep. And in Insecure. Crenshaw.
Insecure.
Insecure. What? No.
I'm gonna tell him. Jesus. I'm gonna give him my number and I'm just gonna tell him.
Why did I say Blue? His name is like Roth Angel or something, isn't it?
Ralph Angel.
Ralph Angel.
Kofi
Sirobi.
Kofi Sirobi. He African. Oh my God. And I seen him on the actual. I listened to him on the actual he had like this interview on this podcast I used to watch. And when I tell you, this man just was so like in tune with himself, and like he was speaking about some grief he had experienced, and he just like let himself emotionally, like he was just, I just was so like, yes. I like this.
And yes.
That's it, 100%. I like everything about him on that podcast. I already know what he look like. Okay, I'm gonna have to just I'm gonna have to pass.
You going through, girl. You going through.
I'm gonna have to say, you know what? Here's my number. I think you're a great guy. This is my dream. But I don't want to. That girl's as soon as we get done, that girl's face is gonna be on my mind for months. Yep. So I'm just gonna have to leave your fine ass here, and hopefully when you ain't got no woman, you come back and see me or some shit, because I do dream about you, and we have been together before many a time. Many a time.
That's why I can pass this up, because I've been here.
And let me tell you something, you're really good. Okay. I liked everything you did. So I just had to wait. Till the opportunity present itself again. But I would be telling that story to everybody. But I would just be like, did you know he tried to come on to me, girl?
That's a fact. That is a fact.
He almost had it too, girl. I had one more shot. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I turned him down.
I turned him down. Okay, I can't be out here messing with another woman's man. But I thought about it. No, I'm just waiting.
Well, this has been fun. This has been fun. It's been enlightening. We got some good laughs out. I love turning that thing around.
Yes.
It's been good. I think we're gonna wrap, guys. I will see everybody later. Thank you, Mac 522. She streams at 5:45.
5:45 Eastern time.
5:45 Eastern time. So check her out. I already followed her. I'm ready for it.
Yes.
Follow me on Twitter at Miss Shelly Welly. Follow me on Instagram at Miss Shelly Welly, and follow me on TikTok. Bets on Shelly. Bets with 2 T's.
That's so cute.
Right? You see
Bets
me?
on
I'm
Shelly.
working.
I love it.
And then follow Lena. Lena, where can they follow you?
Leeor Music. That's Leeor Music on Instagram. You can follow the reBOOT podcast on reBOOT This. This is what our page name is on Facebook. And follow us on YouTube. We want to thank y'all for coming in. And we will see y'all next week.
And I do want to add that there will be a time change. So we want you to look for us in February. We'll be going to Monday nights at 9 o'clock.
Yes.
Monday nights at 9 p.m. And we want to invite you all to make that transition with us. The girls are doing an excellent job. We want to see everybody there. Everybody follow us right on over on Mondays, 9 o'clock. February what's the date, y'all?
I believe it's the 7th. Don't get it. Let me hang on. Let me just look.
Okay.
First Monday.
Our first date
February
is
the 7th.
February. Yes.
February the 7th. Oh, and speaking of, I want to reiterate that Valentine's Day, y'all want to be there for that event, and please reach out so that we can get folks for the date. Is that right? Is anything else y'all want
Yes,
to do that?
Swing the Sweetheart for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
We swinging this thing and we're doing it. All right.
Let's do it.
Please copy the raid message. We're getting ready to go and have a good time on somebody else's channel. We want to thank you for tuning in today. We love y'all so much. Thank you. And we'll see you next time.
All right.